Welcome to Kimberlin Coaching with Sunday Springboard and Melanie Kimberlin. And I'm kind of off. Welcome to Sunday Springboard with Melanie and Kimberlin Coaching, where we help women recover from and flourish after stress and trauma. I was trying to think of what I wanted to say to you. You know, it's always best to start with a joke or a story, and I don't actually have a joke or a story. We're talking about acceptance. We're talking about stress and trauma. We know that every one of us today qualifies as having experienced a major traumatic event because of the pandemic. And we've been talking about how do we recover from this? How do we flourish after this? Where we are today we're talking about acceptance, but let's back up just a little bit and let me share my screen with you. Okay, we have been talking about stress reduction. We talked about how to regulate our bodies in the moment. We talked about how to eliminate the stressful situations that we can. And we have been talking for weeks now, and we're going to talk many more weeks on how to decrease our reaction to stress. Trauma is what happens to our body when we have repeated stress, but stress occurs not because of the circumstances, but because of our reaction to the circumstances. If you have missed my previous videos, you can go to my website, kimberlincoaching.com, go to the Springboard tab, and you can watch all of my past videos, and you can catch up and understand where we are. But we're going to do a little bit of recap here. When we talk about how to reduce and change our reaction to stress, one of the ways we can do that is we develop these core disciplines. We develop these philosophies, these ways of living that help us accept our world, react powerfully in our world, have more energy, and therefore be able to not be so stressed. We talked about awareness. Obviously, you can't change anything if you're not aware of it. And many times just becoming aware of the good as well as the bad in your life can help you a lot with your stress. Now we're talking about acceptance. We did an introductory last week, and I talked to you and I said that all the different programs you might do, the self-help programs, or if you do counseling or therapy, they're mostly always going to tell you you have to learn to accept. And it occurred to me that it didn't actually really tell you why. Why is acceptance important? So today we're going to talk about that. Why is it important to accept? And then we're going to start today with talking about what acceptance is not. Next week we'll go on and we're going to dig deeper into what acceptance is. But for today, we're just going to talk about first, why is it even important, and then what it is not. So why is it important? So one of the big things is when you try not to feel the pain, when you set up a wall to keep out all those painful emotions like fear and anger and anxiety and pain and grief, when you don't want to feel those feelings, you put up that wall, it also keeps out the good feelings. The same wall that keeps out pain and fear also keeps out joy and happiness and love. So you can't have one without the other. You have to either accept with the good comes the bad, or you're going to keep them all blocked, and then you'll end up feeling numb. Another reason why acceptance is so important is that trying to avoid your feelings, trying to keep from feeling them, denying them, not allowing yourself to feel them or think about them is like holding a beach ball under the water. When you push it down, it just pops up. Push it down here, it pops up here. You cannot quit feeling an emotion just by avoiding it. If you do that for a long time, in the long run, you get worse problems. You get more anxiety. It can move into depression or addiction and other mental health concerns. We'll definitely talk more about how to deal with our emotions later. But what I want to tell you, what I want you to get from today's lesson is just the idea that avoiding them is not the answer. Accepting them, processing them, labeling, naming, and letting them go is the way to work through our emotions. Again, why is it so important? When we struggle against the pain, when we just do not want to allow ourselves to feel the pain, and we do whatever we can to not feel the pain. Obviously, this is where we get a lot of our addictions. I don't want to feel the pain, so I'm going to drink, or I'm going to drug, or I'm going to eat, or shop. I'm going to do pornography. I'm going to have relationships. I'm going to work all the time. I'm going to make sure that my outsides look beautiful and perfect all the time. All these things we're doing because we don't want to feel the emotions. We are struggling against it. As long as we struggle, we're going to be keep trying to keep that beach ball under the water, and we're going to create a lot of undue suffering. So pain is a given, but suffering is an option. So acceptance is important because if we allow ourselves to accept, we stop fighting, we can process our emotions, we can move forward. Now you say, well, if I accept it, doesn't that mean I'm saying I'm okay with it? That's one of the reasons I had problems accepting life before. No, I can't accept this because it makes it seem like I'm supporting it, I'm okay with it, I'm all right with it, I'm never going to change it. That is not what acceptance is. So let's talk about some things of what acceptance is not. Okay? If you say that I'm accepting whatever this situation is, it's not saying that you like the anxiety. It's not saying that you want your chronic pain or that you chose your body in the limitations and the weaknesses of your body. It's not saying that you're supporting an injustice, something that's happened to you or someone else. You're not saying it's okay. You're just saying, this happened. It's real. I accept that it happened, and you're not fighting it. Once you accept it, then you can move on into more healthy thoughts and feelings. Some more things it's not. It is not liking, wanting, or choosing the situation. It is not supporting or endorsing whatever it is you're accepting. It's not agreeing with what is happening or what has happened to you. And it's not giving up or giving in. It is not. It is just saying, this happened, and this is the way it is right now. Again, it's not a quick fix. So you can't just say, I accept something, and it means you accept it. It may mean you're on the road. Acceptance is a process. We start, the last few weeks we talked about awareness. First, we become aware of it. We come out of our denial, and then we start to accept. But it's not a quick fix, and it's not a totally uphill battle. One day you may feel accepting, 1 hour you may feel accepting, the next hour or the next day you may be totally not accepting whatever it is that's your issue, and that's fine. That's normal. You can't get upset with yourself if you are trying to accept something and you find that you're not at that point. When you realize, oh, I'm back into not accepting, then you start working through and moving back into it. And we're going to give some suggestions, some tips, some things that will help you to accept in the previous weeks, in the next weeks. So be sure to join me for the next ones, because we're going to continue on, and I will give you some practical ways to learn to accept. So saying you accept something does not mean that you're not working on changing things. Okay? Saying that you're accepting it does not mean that you're accepting it's going to be this way forever. It just means that you're saying that this is the way it is today. This is the way it is right now. Depending upon what the situation is, you might be able to work on it and change it and make it better. Or you may have to work on accepting it. It may be something that's out of your control, but it still might change. So we're not saying that by accepting, I'm saying I'm okay with this being this way forever. I don't have to work on it. I'm just going to accept. Sometimes that seems so passive and weak and not taking control of our world, and that's absolutely not what it means. we actually cannot take control of our world and our lives in our own joy and happiness until we learn to accept the truth of what really is. So again, there's a definition that we gave last week. We talked about acceptance is the assent that a situation exists without protest, without judgment, and without fighting it. That's the definition we're still going with today. Next week, we're going to dig deeper into what acceptance is, what it looks like. I'm going to give you some more definitions that will kind of flesh it out and give us a more full definition and concept of what it is so that you can continue on working on that. Meanwhile, if you would like some help with this, sometimes acceptance can be really, really hard. Sometimes we have trouble and we need some help becoming aware of the things we need to accept. I would love to work with you or at least talk with you to see if we would resonate, we could work together. In the show notes, there's a link where you can schedule a free coaching conversation, and I can show you how powerful coaching is, and then we can talk about whether it would work for us to work together. Meanwhile, look around. Where are you accepting things? Where are you not accepting things? Come see me next week, and let's keep on working on how to reduce our stress by changing our reaction to it. Have a great week.